G'day guys. Today I am going to show you how to make your own yogurt. This Easy-O yogurt maker requires no power, no electricity, no solar or anything. If you can boil water, you can make yogurt. So when you get your yogurt maker, it comes in a box. Take it out of the box. It does come with its own little recipe book and instruction guide. Inside it should be your container that has your yogurt, and inside there's a little red thing that comes out. This is called your baffle. This is what your container sits on, like so, inside your white thermal container. The measurements are on the side, so you don't have to measure anything, you don't have to worry about it, but I do it different to what it says, and that's why I'm showing you how I do it, because it works every time. So, put your baffle inside and make sure it's pressed in till it won't go any further. That's ready. Now I'll get the rest of the things set up and I'll be back. Okie dokie. All you're going to need is your container to put your yogurt in and a couple of jugs, a whisk and your yogurt starter. For your yogurt starter you need to use a natural yogurt or a vanilla yogurt. You can also use the Greek yogurt, but they're all yogurts that are plain, that have the enzymes and the acidophilus and the culture, so that you can continue to make the yogurt without these once you make your first one. You need one of these to make your first batch of yogurt, which is your starter. Once you have your first batch of yogurt, you no longer need these, and I'll show you how. So I'm going to use the natural one. You need, now because I'm in a cold climate, I am adding a bit of boiling water to my cold water, because at the moment it's about 1 degree Celsius here in Tasmania. Not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. I think it's about 32 or 30 Fahrenheit, I think. So it's pretty cold here. So if you're living somewhere like Minnesota, you would be wanting to do the process that I'm about to show you. If you're living somewhere like Texas, you will just need to use the cold water. You won't need to use the hot water, because the temperature and the climates are different. You've got a cold climate and a hot climate. If this was summertime here in Tasmania, I wouldn't be using the hot water. But because it's winter and it's goddamn cold, I am going to use, now this is just cold water straight from the tap. Room temperature water is what you need. So a tepid water, about the same temperature that you would use for yeast. And all I've got here is about 800 mils of cold water, and I'm adding about 100 mils of hot water boiled from the jug. just to make up 1 litre. Okay, so all I've done is poured half of my water into my jug. Now I'm going to pour the yogurt into the water and stir it up. Pour in the rest of your water. Give it another mix. This is where things differentiate from what it says. I pour from one jug back into the other one. Right. And then I pour it into my Easy-O jug. That's just to make sure that I haven't missed anything on the bottom. Make sure everything's mixed properly. You want to fill it right to the top. Put your lid on. And then boil your jug. This is the part I really wanted to show you. Your baffle's in and it's pushed down, won't go down any further, but don't force it down. And you've got your boiling water and you want to fill your water. To the top of your baffle. So where the red line is here, let's see if I can get in there to show you. Here where my finger is, and I'm fogging up, where my finger is around the top here is where you want to put your water. You don't need it any higher than that. Ow. Yes. On there. Then we pop our Easy-O yogurt in, which brings it to about halfway up the jar. We put our lid on, and that's it. Now I'm going to wrap this in a towel and put it on my shelf. It takes about 8 to 12 hours. I usually do it in the evening, around about 7 o'clock of an evening, and then when I get up in the morning, my yogurt is ready for breakfast. I wrap mine in a towel because, once again, I live in a cold climate. It just gives it extra insulation. Just before I go to bed, I thought I'd show you how I put it. It's back in it's in its box. It's got its yogurt and water and everything in there. And I just have a large tea towel, or dish towel, and it's poked down in the sides, so it's actually sitting on the towel. And that's how I leave it. Tuck it in and go to bed. Don't have to plug it in anywhere. You don't have to have the power going. No nice yogurt. Leave it at the end of your table or at the end of your bench, and then in the morning we'll have yogurt. Good night, everybody. Good morning, YouTubers. It's time to check our yogurt. Let's see what we've made. If I can get it out of the box. Okay, let's see how we're doing. See if we made yogurt today. Now, I made this yesterday at about 7 o'clock, and it's 9:30 in the morning, so it's been there for a little while. The temperature of the water is gone cold, doesn't matter. You see what I'm doing there? Before I undo my lid, I like to make sure that the outside of my container is dry, so I'm not putting any more water in there and contaminating the yogurt. Get down in here and have a look. Let's get a close-up. We have yogurt. Do a taste test. Yummy. Now, it's solid all the way down. All I'm going to do now is pop it into my container that I use for my yogurt, and then I'm going to show you how to use this yogurt as your starter. Right. I'm going to wash this out so that I can put my starter in there, and I'll show you what comes next. I'll be back in a moment. And the next part I'm going to show you is how to make your yogurt without having to buy that little sachet every time. And all it will include is the price of a carton of milk. You need to use whole milk. You need full fat cow. Can't have skinny cow, otherwise it won't set. It will just be like a runny custard. Preferably if you can get one that hasn't got any additives. If you can get raw milk, if you can get your hands on raw milk or straight from the cow, you will have some great yogurt. Anyhow, this is 1 litre, and all we're going to do, get back to the pot, is put it in the pot and let it come to a boil. You must make your milk boil. You must see bubbles, but don't let it boil over, because it's a pain in the bum to clean the stove. Turn him on. You can do this in the microwave if that's your thing. I don't like to do my yogurt in the microwave. I like to do it on the stove top. You must make your milk boil. you must see bubbles come from your milk. A few cleaning tips for you. The big white thing, the thermos type thing, don't put that in water. Don't immerse it in water of any sort. Otherwise it will go down in between the two layers and it'll rot and it'll be no good. All I do is pour boiling water back in it and swish it around, tip it out and put it upside down on the towel like you've seen me have it here. With the container that holds my yogurt, I wash that out with hot soapy water and then I pour boiling water inside it and rinse it out. Then stand it upside down like you see here. I do the same with the little red lid. The little red lid can sometimes get yogurt down here in the groove. If you can see that. There's a little groove here where my thumb is, and sometimes yogurt can get down in there. Just grab yourself a thin cloth and a knife and scrape, run the knife and the cloth around the lid and that will come out. But I usually sit that in a bowl of boiling water for about 5 or 10 minutes. The blue towel that they're sitting on, this is only used for yogurt. It's not used for anything else. It's not used for drying up dishes or cleaning up spills, nothing like that. It was bought brand new, it was washed, and it's only ever been used for yogurt. I suggest that you do the same. Grab yourself a towel, a tea towel, hand towel, bath towel, whatever, even a cheap one from your dollar store, as long as it's a towel. So you've got something to wrap your yogurt maker in when you're making your yogurt, if you live in a cold climate. And you can use the same towel to drain and dry your yogurt maker on. I'm still waiting for the milk to boil. When these have dried and the milk is boiled, I'll come back to you with the next step. A watched pot never boils, they say. If you stand here long enough, it will. There we have a boil. It's rising up to the pot. Take it off the heat. Let it stand and settle for 2 minutes or so. So now all you're going to do is tip it into pot, into a jug rather, I beg your pardon. And we are going to let it sit until it becomes cool. Now the temperature you're kind of looking for is in between sort of lukewarm and a baby's bottle. You could use a thermometer if you wish, but I have tried using thermometers and have had poor results. I just go by the touch and the feel of the container and the milk. It's kind of needs to be a little bit warmer than what you would use if you're making yeast bread or pizza dough, but not as hot as a baby's bottle. In between. Anyhow, I'll come back when it cools down. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. We'll come back. Okie dokie. So, our yogurt, this is the one that we made with the Easy Yo packet. Alright? It's now yogurt's been sitting in the fridge since I poured it in here. Tastes just like yogurt. Yummy. Now we're going to make our starter. Our next batch of yogurt, I should explain that you don't have to do this. You can purchase the Easy Yo packets and just continually make it like I did in stage 1. Stage 2 is just a cheaper way of doing the same thing. And it's more natural than this. So all I'm going to do is grab my Easy Yo container. Let's put you back up here so you can see what I'm doing. There we are. So my Easy Yo container, and I'm going to put in $2 of yogurt. That's it. That's all you need. So now that one goes back in the fridge. You just eat it as yogurt. You don't have to do this now. When you're eating your yogurt and you get down to the bottom and there's a couple of spoonfuls left, it's time to make another batch. Or if you want to be eating one batch while you're making another, each to their own, knock yourself out, make it as much or as little as you like. If you happen to run out or if it gets used, all you have to do is grab yourself another Easy Yo packet, start again. So I'm just making sure that my milk is at the right temperature. Now I can hug that, and it's I can only just feel that it's warm. You need to boil your milk to boil out any bad or harmful bacteria, because you don't want to be growing the wrong bacterias. So boiling your milk is sterilizing it, and when you cool it down, you need to get it at the right temperature, because all your cultures and everything are in the yogurt that you've just made. So these are the cultures that are going to grow in the milk to help make your yogurt and thicken it. So I'll pour in about 100 mils of milk. Pop my lid on. Give it a little zhuzh. You don't have to shake the hell out of it. You're just mixing it around. Yep, I've got it all. Now, pour the rest of your milk in. And then pour it back. Now all your yogurt's gone because it's mixed into your milk. I'll do this twice. Meanwhile, while you're doing this, you should be boiling your jug. Mine's already boiled. Pop your lid on and you're ready to go. I'll just go and get me boiling water. I'll be back. Alrighty. So, grab your thermal outer, put your red buffle It only fits in one side. You've got a smooth side, and you've got one with spikes in it. Goes in that way. Only fits in one way. Push it in. Pour your boiling water in. So you can see water's in there. Whoa! Back up. Can you see? Okay, maybe from a distance. Excuse yourself. There we go. You're fogging up. Sit your yogurt in. Lid on. Job's done. Good morning, guys. It's time to check and see if we've got yogurt. Now, this is the second lot that we made with the milk and the starter. So go ahead and get it out of the box, and I'll be back. Okay. Take the lid off. This out. Remember to dry your container before you undo it, just like we did before. My apologies that this has taken a little bit longer than I hoped to show you, but being able to make yogurt for the price of a carton of milk, I think it's worth it. Alright, now what's on top here, that water, that is just the whey, and underneath, when you mix it up, we have yogurt. Maybe if I have the camera in focus we'll be able to show you the yogurt. Yeah. Yogurt. Now if you don't have to keep it plain. Once your yogurt is at this stage, when you put it into a bowl, you can mix it with anything that you like. Mix it with fruit, mix it with honey, sweeten it with honey or molasses or whatever your heart's content. I used to use pureed fruit. It used to come in a little satchel and you just used to squeeze a spoonful out. That was until I read the back of the packet and seen the amount of sugar that was in it. So now I crush my own fruit and just pop a little bit of fruit in it, and I control how much sugar goes in it. So if you want to make yogurt and you don't want to use the power, this is a good little number. Easy yogurt maker. Alright, let's have a little taste test here. That is so nice. Remembering that this yogurt is the one that we've made now, this one here, it's unsweetened, it's natural, there's no chemicals, no additives, no nothing. The only thing that was in here was the boiled milk and the 2 little spoons of starter that we had in the bottom. I don't think you can get much more natural than that unless you actually went and milked the cow yourself. Well, that's it. That's how you make yogurt. Easy peasy. It's not hard once you get the concept. So thanks for watching. Happy prepping. Hold your horses, I'm not done yet. This yogurt will last, I'd probably say around about 8 to 10 days. Depends on the use by date that was on your milk carton. So whatever the use by date was on your milk carton, just pop it on top of the lid on a piece of paper. And also, I'll do it in another video, but I was also going to show you how to make this with milk powder so that you can use it as a food storage, for long-term food storage. But that's another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.